Hello, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. It is Sat Chat time. Yay, it's Saturday. Oh my word. Okay, so I'm gonna be full disclosure. I'm filming this on Thursday at 2:30 in the afternoon because Friday, which is tomorrow, it's for past Lindsay, Friday is tomorrow, and for you guys, when you're watching this, Friday was yesterday. So Friday is Lila's college move-in day, and we have to be down to her campus, which is about 2 hours south of here, by like for a 10 a.m. move-in. So we have to be there at 9 because you have an hour to move in. And when we moved Maisie in, she was going in early to do like a research learning experience. So she was in like a week early, and so it wasn't crazy. There were, there was, just maybe probably 100 kids moving in instead of like, thousands of kids. So that's a little stressful. We have an hour to move in, and I don't know that campus at all. And I know Macy's campus pretty well because it's fairly close, and I go up there for other different things. So, the theater and things like that. So I'm a little nervous about that. Maisie is at school. She's enjoying it. She's settled in. She's texted me a few times. I held off. I didn't text her. Oh, by the way, this is Sat Chat. If you're new here, this is not a tutorial. This is not an artsy, well, it might be somewhat artsy, but it's a wrap up. We just chat about who knows what. You never know. I never know. Every week, and we just catch up in the comments because we have an awesome community here, and everybody loves to catch up with each other, and we're all friends. And so if you want to be part of that, then go ahead, leave a comment, say hello, and join this wacky, crafty, wild and crazy people, wild and crazy crafter. It's already so derailed. I've derailed this video and it's not even 2 minutes in. So anyway, if you've been following along on this saga, if you're not new here, you know that we moved Maisie into dorms last weekend on Sunday, and Lila is going to be moved in tomorrow. So when Sat Chat goes live, she will have been moved into her dorms yesterday. I didn't want to have to film this after moving her in because I didn't know what sort of state I would be in. So I figured better to do it the day before, and then I'll catch you up on her move-in next week when we do our Sat Chat. I actually did film an extra, like, kind of chitty-chatty commentary video that I could put up today if I didn't have a Sat Chat filmed, but that will just wait for some other time when I'm having a breakdown, I guess. But it went really well. We moved in at the same time her roommate moved in, and she knows her roommate. They went to high school together. So that actually went pretty well because we're all moving in together. I think that kind of kept the parents from breaking down a little bit, but it went really well. Then we went out to like a late lunch, and then brought her back to her dorm to leave her there, and I've got a little teary in the parking lot. Well, me and Jason and Lila did. Maisie was like, "Don't let the door hit you." Nah, she was fine, but she was good. I think she's doing good. And so Lila moves in tomorrow, and yeah, that's gonna be end of an era. It's gonna be so weird, but I have faith they're gonna have a great time, and I've just been staying super busy so I don't, get too sad because I'm really happy for them. But it's just sad when your kids move out. I'm sure a lot of you are going through it, have gone through it, will go through it. We're all in this together, aren't we, guys? So I decided that, I think I mentioned this before, that I'm going to make robes for them because we were doing the dorm shopping a couple weeks ago and getting like shower caddies and shower shoes and, toiletries and like back to school things, bedding, all that stuff. And there was no bathrobes, and they wanted a new bathrobe for school because, you're going to the communal shower and then you're coming back to your dorm room. So we couldn't find anything when we were out, and I'm like, well, I could just order something on Amazon. And then I made the mistake of saying, or I could sew you one with whatever fabric you want. And they thought that was a great idea. So Lila and I went out to pick fabric. This was a couple weeks ago because my mom came up. She came up to bring my nephew to this dinosaur show, but they were sold out. So they came over to visit. And so we all went to the fabric store. And so Lila picked out this really pretty print. It was like a dark purpley plum color with a silvery metallic design on it. It was cotton. It was like a printed silver. It was really pretty. And then Maisie's like, just pick something out for me. And she's like, red or black? And I'm like, well, do you want black pattern? Do you want black solid? I didn't dare to pick something that I didn't think she would like. So I ended up just getting black solid. Because I figured if I make any mistakes, it probably won't show very well. But every piece of fluffy cat hair floating through the ether in this house is clung to that sucker. And I was up late sewing that. I forgot how long it takes to cut out material. See, I haven't garment sewn in like, since the kids were really little, and I'd make them cute little pajamas, which are no big deal because the little pieces of fabric you need are just small. So doing bathrobes for adult-sized people, I had to like spread the fabric on my bedroom floor. It was the only place that was big enough that I could like roll out the fabric, so I had to wash it. So I pre-washed it so it wouldn't shrink. It's like, I could have just sewn that probably and washed it afterwards because it's a robe. It's not like it's a tight-fitting garment or anything. But anyway, I did what the instructions said, and I washed it, and I dried it, and I pressed it. And the black fabric I bought was like, it wasn't 45 inches. It was like 42 or something, or maybe not even, because like the cotton, the printed one was, the pattern pieces fit on it like the instruction showed, but the black, it was just like a little too narrow. So luckily I got an extra quarter yard of each because I just wanted some wiggle room. And so I had enough. I was able to cut everything out, but yeah, just wrangling all that fabric and cutting it out. And I was like in a primal squat on the floor for like 2 hours cutting fabric, pinning and cutting fabric. And then like later last night, I was like, why do my ankles and knees hurt? Oh my God, I'm getting old. My hips are sore. And I'm just like, I really need to get in shape. And it didn't occur to me that like, no, it's probably squatting on the floor for 2 hours as you're cutting fabric. But anyway, I've got Maisie's robe almost all done. I just have to put the band and make the belt for it. And then Lila's, I think, will go a lot quicker because once you've made one, the other one goes a lot quicker. Cutting the fabric takes longer than anything. But it looks pretty good. So it was looking a little hairy on times. And I was thinking that I was going to like swap some of their material, and I would do like the band, which is the part that kind of goes around the neck and down the front on the robe. And the pockets, they're like patch pockets, I was going to, and the belt, I would swap them. So I would use the other person's fabric for those accents, but then I'm like, I haven't sewn from a pattern in so long that I wasn't feeling very confident. And I'm like, if I have like a pocket on crooked, or I have like the belt loop's not exactly, I'm like, that's gonna look really bad if it's not the same color. If it's in a contrasting color, it will just amplify my mistake. So I decided just to stay plain. But you know, I think it would have been fine though, because I just used the pattern, the marks on the pattern to line everything up. So I think it would have been fine, but I was just feeling kind of not confident in my sewing ability. But anyway, they're done. Well, no, they're not done. What am I kidding? I bought the materials, therefore the project must be done. Do you ever get like that? It's like, I bought the materials, therefore I've done this project. Yay me. No, it's like, no, you bought the materials and there they sit in the corner waiting for you to do the project. So after I finish filming Sat Chat, I'm going to go over there and finish the robes. Hopefully Lila will take hers to school with her. But Maisie, I'll have to mail hers to her or drop it off. Probably mail it because I don't want to like, I don't want to interfere with this first, like these first, you know, moments of collegeness. I want them to just kind of figure out, you know, find their own way and figure it out on their own and stuff like that. Maisie forwarded an email to me, and it was something about the, like their digital textbooks, like in some of their classes were going to be loaded onto their account, something like that. And she's like, do I need to do anything about this? I'm like, honey, you need to call the bookstore and you need to ask them what, like, if they're duplicates to what we've already reserved or what, and you know, you need to ask them what you need to do, because I don't know. I'm not in school. I'm not a student, so I like this necklace. It's not showing up. Isn't that pretty? My husband got me that a couple of years ago. Stained glass, sea glass. But and she did, and she texted me and said, everything's okay. I'm like, right on. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of everything's okay. Of course, meanwhile, I actually posted in the, you know, parents alumni, like, what the heck is this digital textbook thing? So that was fun because other people were also curious. So it was yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, the parent groups on Facebook, because then like other parents will worry about stuff that you haven't even occurred to worry about before. And it's like, well, I didn't even think about worrying about that. Lila cut my hair. I should have washed it this morning, because when I wash it, when it's short like this, then it will kind of curl up a little bit, but I didn't want to today. It was very muggy, and I just don't want to have wet hair and be outside walking the dog in the mugginess. So, but I like it. It's short, it's got some body, and I don't have to do anything to it if I don't want to, as long as I wash it in the morning and just put some gel in it. I figured I better take advantage of that fine service before she leaves for college. But I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's just weird. It's, you know, I've just been keeping myself really busy, I guess. So what else? Oh, I've got notes. because I'm like, that's the other reason I wanted to do the sat checks. It's like, I've got stuff to talk about this week. I got all kinds of things. Oh, I have been hearing from you guys that the brushes have landed, that you guys have been getting your brushes that you ordered for my collaboration with Craft Ammo. And I'm just so excited. Some people have actually like shared Instagram like reel videos, or like, you know, like the stories or Instagram reels or photos where they've arrived, and it's so cool. That's so, I've always seen that with like other people releasing stuff. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But it's like, oh my gosh, when it's you, it's like, oh my word, this is so cool. So if your brushes have come, please let me know how you like them. I hope you love them. If there's anything wrong with them, let me know. Or actually, Craft Ammo will be the one that deals with any customer service problems like that. But I want to know, I hope you love them. I really do. I've been painting with them. Well, I've been using the prototypes for a while, but I've been filming a lot of tutorials using them. So like how to use a dagger brush. One coming up in like 2 weeks is going to be how to use it. No, it's next week. How to use a dagger brush, and just to give you a lot of tips and tricks and whatnot. And of course, if you don't have my brushes, you can use your brushes. If you already have one that's like that, you can certainly follow along with those tutorials. I'm not keeping it all like, you know, just secret for the people that bought my brushes. Everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome. So, and if you did get the brushes and you've used them, I would love it if you would leave a review on the Craft Ammo page. That would just really, really help me out. And then help other people out too that are looking to buy brushes. You know, what you liked about them, what you didn't like about them. Hopefully you liked everything about them, but I'm realistic. You know, maybe there's something you don't like about them, or maybe there's something you would prefer in an upcoming set or something like that. All that feedback is really helpful, and I appreciate you so much I appreciate you for watching. If you bought the brushes, I appreciate that. Just everything. You guys are the best. I appreciate your comments after Sat Chat. You guys have really been lifting me up in these, difficult times of having the kids leave the nest all at once. It's so weird. It's weird. We're going to do, Jason and I, we're going to like really prioritize our health. It's just been so, it just seems like it's been so overwhelming, all-consuming. You know, I think this whole last year has been very all-consuming. The whole college application process is a lot, and then deciding where you're going to go, and then everything, paying for it, everything is just all so I don't say overwhelming, but it's just a lot to process, and it's hard to do other things when you're doing that. And then the kids moving out, you know, it's almost like you want to take every opportunity that you have to kind of like spoil them a little bit, you know. So it's like we've had meals out, or had takeout, or, you know, just done little treats and stuff that we ordinarily wouldn't do. You know, we've done a little bit more, and yeah, we have to rein it in. This week, my friend Tracy was in town, and so she's one of my crafty friends, and Cindy and Kathy, and we get together and we have craft nights sometimes. And so she was going to be in town, so we all decided we would go out to supper and then go roam around crafty stores. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have a cocktail. I'm gonna have an appetizer, and I'm gonna have General Tso's tofu. You know, indulgent. I'm going to have those indulgent things. And then I'm going to wander around a craft store and maybe buy myself a treat. Self-care, friends. It's self-care. But it's like, man, I think I'm going to have to do a no-spend September, because I've been living high on the hog. I've been living high on the calorie hog and high on the art supply hog. But this is what I got. And my friend Sheila Landry recommended these, and she does beautiful artwork. She has a toll painting website, and I'll link it down below. I believe it's tollpaintingdesigns.net or tollpaintingdesigns.com. I'm going to link it down below. She has such beautiful designs. If you do decorative painting, you will love it. She has this series. I'm thinking about, I don't think my mom listens to this, but I'm thinking about getting my mom this she has these little storefronts, and they are so cute. And she has one that's like an art supply store, and one that's like a candy shop, I think. Or maybe I'm misremembering and they're the same one, but she has these cute little storefronts, and they're so detailed, and like my mother loves that really detailed like puttery stuff. So I'm thinking about getting those for Christmas. But anyways, if you like toll painting, she is wonderful. She has a wonderful inspirational blog, and she always does like kind of creative pep talks and stuff like that. But she does some work with these Faber-Castell Pitt Graphite Matte pencils. So they're not shiny, so when you draw with them, they don't glare. because I know you're probably like, oh, it's just a pencil, Lindsay. And, you know, yeah, you can use any pencils you want, but these are the only ones that I know of that are graphite pencils that don't glare. And I rarely do drawing tutorials, even though I love to draw, because the glare, I have generally 4 lights pointed on onto my table from different angles, so everything is fully lit up and my arm doesn't cast a shadow on anything. And so when I use regular graphite pencils, they just reflect so much that it's hard to see, and you can't really see values, and that's something that's really important with drawing. So I thought those might be really nice for being able to do a drawing tutorial. Now, of course, you could follow along with whatever pencil you had. I've been looking for those pencils anytime I go into independent like art store, but they're kind of new, and you know, I'm sure art supply stores are like, we don't sell that many just plain pencils. They're not, you know, sexy, so we'll just, you know, I'm sure it's a lot to bring in a new product like that. But like every time I've been into Fiddleheads, I've checked. Any other like craft store I've popped into, I've checked. And one of the craft stores we went into had those. So I grabbed it. They weren't cheap. They were 23 bucks, but I didn't think that was too expensive. That's about what they are on Blick. I think they're maybe like 20 bucks on Blick for that set of 11. I did have like a cart going on Blick, but I didn't have that many things in it. And I like to wait to order until I'm going to have enough to meet the free shipping, but I don't like to just add extra things to the cart to hit the free shipping, because that kind of erases the point of free shipping, you know, if I'm buying all kinds of extra stuff to get to it, you know. And one of those things that I wanted to buy that was also in my Blick cart was the black mixed media paper. The Strathmore Tone Tan mixed media paper is my favorite, and they've recently released green and blue, so they're like a muted green and blue, and they also have a gray, and I use the gray occasionally. I use the Tone Tan a ton. I haven't tried the green or the blue because I don't think I'd really use them, but I think I would use the black a lot. I was actually looking for heavyweight black cardstock, but it's gone up in price quite a bit, it seems. I can't remember if it was like Michael's had it for like a $17 for a 100-sheet ream, and that just seemed kind of high compared to the last time I bought it, and I don't go through that much of it. So I have some lighter weight black cardstock currently, but then I'm like, well, if I have this mixed media paper, then that could work for mixed media paper, or if I need a heavyweight black card, I can just use this. Even though it's more expensive per sheet, like per square inch and stuff, it's something I could do a little bit more. So yeah, so I picked that up. So it was cheaper overall than placing a $70 order to get free shipping, I guess. And plus I was kind of in the treat myself. You've had a hard week. You've had a hard week, mama, treat yourself, you know? So yeah, so I gotta stop that. We gotta slow this crazy train down before my jeans don't fit anymore. I'm wearing shorts all summer, so I hope my jeans still fit. I think they do, but I think they're a little snug. Yeah, so there's been a lot of takeout, and Jason and I are gonna go Whole Foods, simple, and Jason's like, you know, I think we could probably go a long time before we had to buy any groceries, and I'm like, pretty much, because he gets like, there's a local organic farm that he gets like a meat box delivered, like a subscription box. It's like every 2 months, I think, and I have so many beans. I have so much of that stuff. I actually stocked up on some, you know, veggie convenience food, which I was trying to get off of those, but then like this summer it was just too crazy. I needed the convenience, and Lila likes them, but I'm like, once they go to school, I'm not buying them anymore. But like the Gardein products, and there's nothing wrong with them. It's just that they are higher in fat, they're processed, higher in calories. So yeah, I'm gonna go, and I want to batch cook. I hate cooking, so I'd rather just batch cook a bunch of like chili or dal or beans and rice or something, and then just like, you know, put a bunch in the freezer, and then have like a good rotation where, you know, ideally I don't have to cook for months. Like, so I'm like, those kids are out of the house, I am done cooking. Hashtag goals. Hashtag goals. I hate cooking. So other than that, I mean, obviously we'll need to get like fresh vegetables, but then again, we'll have to really, you know, scale back on what we buy, because we would go through so much produce with, you know, the kids are all health conscious. We all eat salads and just like, you know, chopped up cucumbers and like carrots and peppers with hummus and things like that. So we go through a lot of that, and I'm gonna seriously waste stuff if I don't change those habits anyway. But I do like to have, like, I like to have apples in the fridge. I like to have carrots and romaine lettuce and things like that. So it's going to be weird to get used to what we're going to need. Jason's like, you can't go shopping because, see, like, I shop like winter is coming. You know, we're going to get snowed in. And the mounded, every shopping trip to the grocery store is a rounded cart, and I feel extremely privileged and blessed to be able to do that. I know that so many people struggle, so I'm extremely lucky to be able to do that. But I definitely need to get used to a new normal here, because I mean, Jack's going to be out on September 1st, so they're all moving out. They're moving on up to the east side. Remember the Jeffersons? Oh, I love that show. So what else? Oh, so I mentioned, we'll talk about living high on the hog. I did that haul a couple weeks ago, and I got 2 sets of pastels because I've lost my mind. But I talked about maybe doing a pastel month, and people were like, yes, pastel month, that'll be so awesome. So I figured I'm gonna make September pastel month, so we're just gonna do a bunch of pastel projects next month. And I thought it would be fun because I know there's a lot of people that are beginners with pastel. They maybe never used it before and they're curious about it. So I decided to put my soft pastel for beginners class on sale for 50% off. I'm gonna like relaunch it next month, but the coupon code's active now if you wanted to snag it. The coupon is pastel50, and I'll put a link in the video description. But I'm like, that way that'll be a good primer for anybody that's wanting to start pastel or needs a refresher, because it's a good, like, you know, techniques course, and you do like 3 or 4 finished projects. It's just fun, and it touches on mostly stick pastels, but it also does touch on pan pastels if anybody's curious about that. I love pan pastels. And that will give me the motivation to use them more, because I really enjoy pastels, and I have them, and I just bought some more, so I need to use them. There's been some really good deals this month. It's been very difficult to behave. I've been hemming and hawing. There's this set of Sennelier. It's 12 tube watercolors in a tin, and they're 10 ml tubes for $41 on Amazon. And it's just like been tempting me and teasing me. I'm like, no, you do not need it. You do not need this set. You do not need it. And I've been able to resist. It's sitting in my car, but I've been able to resist. But it's like, maybe you just need to shift gears, do something different. I think I just need to do a no spend September. Because I feel like there's been so many, so it's been like stock up time. I think it's like, maybe stores just trying to liquidate because they overbought. Or maybe companies are changing the packaging or changing what's going to be in certain sets, so they're kind of trying to clearance out the old stuff. I don't know what it is, but like Mission Gold watercolors have been crazy. Like their pure pigment set of 24 has been really cheap, and I think it's because they came out with a pure pigment set of 34, 32, 34, 32, I think. So I think that's kind of the hot new thing. So I think probably the sales have slowed on the 24 set, so they're probably trying to liquidate that, but that's a great set. And I've been tempted to get it because they've changed some of the colors since I got mine 5 or 6 years ago. But I haven't used much of it, so it's like, justifiably, no, Lindsay, no, you can't. But like 7 colors I don't have for that price. I think it was like $61 or $62. I'm like, that's pretty sweet. But it's like, are you ever going to use it up? You need the calculator. We need an app. We need the app for, can we use this up before we die? You know, so we know if we can buy more or not when the price is good. Maybe that's why I should be an app developer. That would be my app. It would be so depressing though. Nobody would want to buy it because nobody would really want to know. It's kind of like stepping on the scale, which I'm not doing at least until we get halfway through my Whole Foods September. Whole Foods, no spend September. It's going to be quite a depressing month, actually. Nothing good for you. No, everything good for you, but nothing you want, basically. Yeah, so anyways, it was fun. Met up with my friends. We went out to dinner. My friend Kathy just dropped one of her daughters off on the other side of the country. That's Kathy from Ask a Crafter a few years ago. You remember her? So, I mean, I don't even know how she's coping with that. She's doing so well. And then her other daughter's going to be doing a semester up here and then going to where her twin is, because she also has twins, in winter. So it's like, yeah, we're all in a state. My other two friends don't have young kids, so, or, you know, their kids are, well, Cindy doesn't have kids and Tracy's kids an adult, so it's already been they've been there. So what else? Oh, you know, when we were out though, when we were at Michael's, I saw this cool thing. It was a stained glass kit, but all the glass was cut. So all you needed was like a soldering iron. And it came with like the tape and the flux and all the glass pieces. And I don't know if it came with a frame or if just the way you solder them together makes the frame, but there were some wicked cute designs, and I'm thinking it was like, they were only like $30. And so we were all talking, the gals and I were talking about maybe doing a Zoom and each buying one of those kits and just crafting together as a you know, just fun thing to do. Because we'll do crafty Zooms in like the winter, the winter and stuff. So I thought that would be kind of fun. I mean, I haven't done much with stained glass. I can wield a soldering iron, but you know, I don't think the cutting around glass sounds about as fun as cutting fabric, friends. So I'm like, already cut? That sounds like my type of craft. But you know, and then I have something to hang in the window, and I don't think it's something that I would really want to do that much long term, but that sounds like really fun for just like a one-time project type of thing. And I think that's what the craft stores are getting into more, is kind of like the all-in-one kits for beginners. Because I saw that and I'm like, boy, that looks like fun, and it doesn't look that expensive. If I went to the stained glass store and had to buy everything for a project, I'd spend hundreds of dollars probably, and that's like, you know, $30. I can see if I like it before I get into it. So we thought that might be kind of fun. So probably the last eventful thing that happened this week is last night I'm sitting down after supper and I'm just kind of scrolling my phone, getting the gumption up to go sew my robes, and I hear the dog on the porch like, Penny, are you outside? So I get up to go see, to go let her in, and my neighbor is standing there with the, he's leaving, the dog was on the porch, and he goes, oh, I just walked her home. She was walking around my backyard loose. And I'm like, how'd you get out? And like, I'm expecting the dog to answer me, and I look over and her collar is attached to her run, so she's like pulled out of her collar somehow. And so she comes in and she's like got her tail tucked, she's acting all ashamed. I'm like, it's okay, you came home. It's a good girl coming home. And so she was kind of sulking around and just moping, and she went upstairs, and I didn't see this, I didn't notice. She had quills. She got a porcupine. And well, I think the porcupine got her. I don't think she got the porcupine, but she must have saw, there must have been a porcupine in our yard, because she's never pulled out of her collar before, and she must have just spotted that animal, pulled out of her collar, went after it, and you know, got, luckily not in her face, it was all like in her, like in her neck. And 30 quills. Jason was able to get them out, no problem. I wonder if it might have been a baby porcupine, because they were really light colored quills. That's why I didn't see them, because they're about the color of a toothpick, and her fur is pretty light. The poor thing. So she was feeling pretty sorry for herself, but hopefully she doesn't tangle the porcupine again. And even like, we had the quills just kind of sitting on the coffee table after after Jason took them out. And she went over and she sniffed, and she got right away from that, just that smell. So I'm hoping that if she catches the scent of a porcupine now, she will just stay away. I think she got skunked at one point too. So I think she's learned all her dog lessons for now. But man, that could have been bad. That was, I didn't even know she was out, because Jason had let her out after dinner. And yeah, it's like, usually she's out for a few minutes and woofs to come in. But yeah, poor thing, poor thing. I think I've talked about everything I meant to talk about during the Sat Chat. Yeah, I'll let you know next week how Empty Nest Part 2 went. And then actually it'll be Part 2 and Part 3, because by then both Lila and Jack will have moved out. So, although Jackson has comforted me and said that, hey Mom, don't worry, I still have to come home to do my laundry. So, so I'll see him about once a week. But that's all good. That's all I have for today. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Please let me know what you're up to in the comments below. Let me know if you got your brushes and if you like them, or hopefully you like them. If you don't like them, you know, you got to tell me that too. I got to know. But I think you're going to love them. I've really been enjoying them, and I hope you do too. So for that, bye. Thank you for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.